The Belper Mill complex was vast once the East Mill was in place and until the demolitions began from the end of the 1950s. As well as photography, we now have 3D modelling of the site by Matlock-based Evans Vettori, funded by the Great Place scheme, allowing us to move around and appreciate it in full. This time, starting from the east, we pass Bridge House, which was in part a school from 1902 to 1952. Then the South Mill with its distinctively tall fire escape. Entry to the site here was much narrower than today, with a 3-storey block at the end of the South Mill. Heading in, we see the many windows of the East Mill and the 1854 chimney, said to have been Britain's tallest when it was built. Next is the powerhouse, built at the same time as the East Mill, and then the North Mill, William Strutt's pioneering iron-framed fireproof building of 1804. Beyond the office building we know as Strutt House, we can see the Jubilee Clock Tower, placed on the West Mill in 1898 to commemorate Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee. It's a massive build, hiding a vast water tank for the mill's sprinkler system, and must have put incredible extra weight on the structure of the building. As we look down, you can see the link, the gangway, over the road, connecting the two sides of the site, and the round mill, one of the earliest losses. Built, like the North Mill, to the designs of William Strutt, it took 10 years to finish and included ventilators on the roof, which allowed fresh air to flush through the cotton fibres in the air that damaged workers' lungs. It was a unique construction but had a relatively short life. Bigger, more modern machinery couldn't fit in such a constrictive space. Behind, another first-floor gangway leads to the Spinning Mules building on the left, although the Belper site, as part of the larger English sewing empire in the 20th century, was focused on doubling, not spinning, once the East Mill was in place. Rising up, we can see the reeling mill, now the only one on site after the demolition of the East Side reeling mill in 1913-14. And then we drop down by the old Spinning Mule building and move around for a view of the site from the south. After the building of the East Mill, much of the production side was within its 7 stories, so a lot of the older buildings were underused or used for storage. The junction mill, by now, has turbines below rather than the earlier water wheels. As we move across to the other side of the West Mill, there are 3 more former wheel pits now housing turbines, and as we pan round, the gasometer is in the foreground. We're now seeing once more the full splendour of the site at the time, with East Mill behind the north, the South Mill in the distance, and of course the West Mill on the right, topped by the clock tower. The clock stopped, never to go again, in Belper at least, at 4:20 p.m. on September the 18th, 1962. The workings were moved to a clock museum near Newark. We end with the last look from the West Mill over to the East Side and that tall mill chimney. Continue your look around the Belper Mills before 1898 and in 1921, as well as the Milford Mills, in the other videos within this series.